Can you explain why you are in Iceland anyway, although you are staying here?
Yes, I can. If I don't know my borders, if I don't know where I stop, for example, I spit into the air and I don't know if the spittle is still a part of me or not. Is it still me or is the spittle not me anymore, you understand? I start thinking about it, I can expand endlessly or I can draw back to the absolute nothingness. Because there is no frontier, there is no bang, here I start, here I end. The logical consequence of this thought is that I'm either everything or nothing. I'm everything, you understand? Of course, now that the spittle is in my mouth, it is still a part of me. Until the liquid is still on my tongue, it is still part of the tongue somehow. And if I spit it out, the spit is on the floor. And let's say a worm is eating it up, and then the spit vanishes into everything, and therefore in the end I am everything. And that's why I know that I am you. And that's not a concept. You can experience this. There are moments in which you can experience this. And that's why this is the only way to express it. I don't have it a lot, but one time definitely it happened to me. When I realized it the first time, it was a flash. Wow, you are me. That's not true. And now it became a concept for me a little bit, because I don't have the sensation all the time, of course. But I just wanted to say that if I really think it is true that you are me, then it really doesn't matter who goes to Iceland, you know?
But on the other hand, I would say, as I feel right now, it would be a difference if you go into the kitchen or me, yes? How can I do that in the moment in which I feel the distance, a form of implosion takes place?
I don't know if you can understand that. I know a situation like that, for example, back then when I was a teenager, concerning love with men, concerning sex, being together physically, wanting ecstasy, wanting to have mutual exchange, or wanting to become one, the longing for this and trying and always noticing shit doesn't work somehow, and then trying harder, and there's always the imagination. It's the other way around. It works somehow from behind.
That it doesn't get together like this, more like this.
This opening is, like you maybe noticed, that you are communicating non-verbally only with the absolute trust that it's true. You can do it. That's the point, and that is what I'm trying with Iceland. Only with the absolute trust that really, it's really like that, with the certainty and with the wish and the longing, then it can only happen. Because if I am only thinking the whole time, is he thinking what I am thinking? It doesn't work that way. You only have to be totally total. You have to know, yes, it's like that, and this is what I want to do with my art. And that's why I make it as clear and as radical as I can. It works like that. And you are me, but please, it's you that has to go.
And his guy who goes there, how does he see that?
He knows that he goes as me, and he thinks he would go as him.
He is here and there, but he is everywhere at the same time. But somehow he is here now too, because he is me as well.
Yeah, he's also here. Only to have the idea about him is a relative proof for that.
Would you tell me, would you describe him to me? I had seen him before, I know his name and...
Yeah, how does he look like?
He's got glasses.
Bingo!
Really?
Yeah. Did the concept of the work came through?
No.
No? Shall I explain it again?
Yes.
It's about that a friend, a person, goes to Iceland being me. And with this I want to illustrate the idea that principally only one person is in this room. Which also means that I am you. And consequently, to demonstrate it, I don't go myself. I don't go in the usual way, which would be as me, but I go in an unusual way as Matze. So I don't go in the usual way as Ute Ringel, but in the unusual way as Mathias Fellner. And to make it clear again, he shouldn't in no means imitate me. Not at all. On the contrary, the more he will be himself, the more he will be me. That's again this, how is it called? How did you call it? Collapse? No, explode? But this black hole that explodes in itself or implodes or I don't know.
I would like to ask a last question, a principal one. That is, why is that art? Or doesn't it have to be art?
Yeah, definitely it must be art. Because exactly what I try to say or express or bring across is actually not possible in this world. Like we have seen, because we believe too much in me not being Steffi Stange, we believe way too much in that fact. So how can I express that? From the moment that you would believe that, the world immediately would change. It would transform into another shape, if there still would be a shape at all, because it exists only through this act of art that we believe in it, you understand? If we stop believing in it, the world wouldn't be there anymore. That's why it's stupid of me to try to get it inside, well, to manifest. There must be a good example for that, but I can't think of. But if the apple doesn't say all the time, I am apple, but I am pear, then he would certainly become a pear in no time. So I can try a thing like that, hey apple, you are also pear. Like this, because now I'm apple, the world would change insofar as, yeah, and that's why it is absurd to try to integrate it into life, or to make it part of the world. In a world that wants to manifest exactly the opposite. Principally, the world is nothing but the statement that one is separated from the other. Therefore, I'm not you. That makes total sense to us. That's what we really believe in. But in the moment in which we wouldn't believe that anymore, it would stop existing. But it also would stop that we'd be separated. And that's why it's stupid to try that on this level, and that's why it has to be art. Art is allowed to do that. In art I can turn everything upside down. And with this, turning it upside down, I can correct it again. And I only do this because I know that it is like that, and I want it to be like that. Art for me is only a stepping stone to something. For me, art is only a stepping stone. And you really have to use it as such. I do this work to prove it to myself, you could say. I do this work to believe myself that it is like that. That I realize myself that it is like that, to open myself for it, and that's why I do this work. And therefore the art is good.
And the others that are watching,
they can jump onto the wagon or not.
They simply have the impulse of the thought.
They can connect. They can say, yes, it's true. And they can leave the world with me. But you can't force anybody. It's a free choice of every single one. But it's a proposition anyway. Therefore art wants to tell us that because it knows that it has to say that, to believe it itself. That's the service that you provide the world. Yeah, you could say it's a service. And that of course happens on another level. But you have to leave it to the choice of everyone, because it is always the own will that is saying yes or no. And it's very important to meet this requirement, this rule. But it is also the service to say, hey, it is totally different than you might think it right now.
It is also different.
It's always bigger. And we keep ourselves very small, really. Also in the world of art, we keep ourselves small. I keep myself small. And I don't want to keep myself small any longer. I want to grow beyond my smallness. And certainly everybody wants that. I think that every artist wants that. And that's what I think, that there's always going to be some who say, yes, I want that. And these things, I think there's connection. I am searching for this yes. I'm searching that people say, I want to escape my smallness. It can't be true, always restraining yourself. These borders, it can't be true. I want to talk to that voice that says no, it can't be true, it's all about something else. And with this I can be absolute here. It's really not true what you are thinking. And be grateful that it's not true. You understand?
There is something really mystical or religious about it.
Yeah, that's true. It always sounds like that.